Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name's Alicia. I hope that you will subscribe before you leave. Whenever I'm filming this, it's the third day, like early AM hours. It's 6 a.m. when I'm filming this of 2022. And I live in like the Columbia, South Carolina area. And we have had probably like 6 or 7 earthquakes now in the past week. The wind is going crazy right now, which actually woke me up, and then probably like 30 minutes to an hour after I woke up, we had another earthquake. They've all been like 2.5 like to 3.5 type regions. But it's just kind of freaky because we've like haven't had any, and then it's like boom boom boom, we keep having all these earthquakes. So anyway, I'm up, so I figured I would go ahead and film a video that I had been wanting to. There was a bunch of new releases in 2021 that I tried out, and out of all of those releases, I wanted to share like the ones that like stick out in my mind, the ones that like made an impact with me, the ones that are my favorite. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. First off, I'm going to start with like the single items, and then I'll kind of move into the palettes. So out of single items, something that I loved was the Wet n Wild Saved by the Bell like blush duo collections. So specifically, I like the Screech and Lisa one. This one is so good. It's called the Nerd Alert palette. And then secondly, I love this one because it has a highlighter and a blush in it. This is the Kelly and Zach Relationship Goals one. But these are like $3.99, $4.99, great quality. You can get these at the drugstore. Right now, I think this whole collection is on sale for like 50% off. I think you can get everything in the entire collection for like $30. Something like that. I don't know. Check Ulta's website, but the last time I checked, the whole collection was on there for a huge discount. So I would pick that up if you're interested, because overall there was like a ton of great stuff in that collection. All right, next up is something from MAC, and holy shit, I love this blush. This is the MAC and Cruella collection. Love the whole design and aesthetics of this collection as well. The stuff that I tried anyway. But this is the blush duo. So blush, and it could be like a highlighter, but for me, I like mixing these two together, and it is such a pretty effect. I love this. I'm not sure if you can still get this though. So yeah, if so, I'll try to link all of this that I can down below. All right. Now we've got some setting sprays, and if you watch my videos, and these are no surprise to you, the Charlotte Tilbury, this is the best setting spray that I have tried, period. It is so good. You put this on and your makeup is locked. This is kind of a pricey one. It's $39, I believe. But, I mean, I think the Urban Decay All-Nighter, is that one not like $38? But yeah, I love this. I think it's worth the price. I will be picking up a new one, and I have just kind of quit using this because I don't want to run out of it. And I know that's silly, but the next one that I have is from I Heart Revolution, and this is the e.l.f. one. I've said I need to pick up another one of these, and I think currently today when I'm filming this, they have like their platinum diamond like benefit day or something like that, where like if you spend $25 you get a free gift. If you spend $30 on hair care, you get this gift. If you spend $30 on skincare, you get this gift. So anyway, I might pick that up. All right, and now I've got 2 highlighters. So one of them is from Jaclyn Cosmetics, and overall, like Jaclyn Cosmetics, I have been impressed with. I know, you know, people, it seems like people either love her or they hate her, but I love her, and I love her makeup brand as well. This is the Luminous Powder, and this is in shade Do Me. Now, she did come out with like some actual, oh, I'm sorry if that was blinding you guys, some like actual highlighters as well, and I do have some of those. Hold on. Now, I do have some of her just like regular highlighters like this, but they almost are like too intense for me. And I know she is like a highlight person, but I love this one. It is like, it still gives you a glow, but it's in such a natural way. I just love it. All right, and then if you have seen my videos recently, this is not a surprise. This is the Urban Decay Liquid Illuminator. This is like the Prince one. I don't know if you can still get this. I would highly check it out if you like liquid illuminators. I am not even a liquid illuminator person, and I love this one. Again, it gives me like the same type of feel as this Jaclyn Cosmetics one. It is like a lit from within glow, and you just look like dewy, healthy, and that is why I love both of these so much. Now we're going to move into face palettes, and this one will be no surprise. This is the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Look of Love palette. I also tried the Nudegasm palette this year, and I do really, really like that one. However, like, as things that are like ingrained in my mind that released this year, I didn't feel like it was on that level. But this one, however, this one has everything you need in a palette. I used the absolute hell out of this palette. I normally do not go through products like this. Normally my palettes in general, any of my makeup in general usually does not end up looking like this. I completely like used up the highlighter, the blush. This was a setting powder. I've got very little of this bronzer left. I hit major pan in this eyeshadow. I can't even tell you the last time, I'm sorry, I can't even tell you the last time that I hit pan in an eyeshadow palette. So this is just perfection in a palette. It made me fall in love with Charlotte Tilbury makeup. And yeah, that's all I can say about that. I seriously love that one. My daughter has one that I gave her, and she is like not using it. And I keep telling her, Hannah, that thing is going to disappear if you don't start using it. So, yeah. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on. This is the Hourglass palette. Now, this is like a holiday release from Hourglass, but ever since I got it, I have not been able to put it down. I use it so much. It's so convenient for like work days. Like, again, it's kind of everything in one. So you've got like a powder that you could like set your face with, or, you know, just like where you want to have a little bit of glow. This, I don't have this on, but this does, like, if you put it right here, it gives you just, again, kind of like the same effect as this dewy highlighter. It's just a lit from within glow. Now, this is a strobe powder, so this will give you a more intense highlighter, and I do love this in the palette as well. These blushes, I usually tend to just mix these two together, and it gives such a nice, like, natural flush to the cheeks. You just look healthy. Using this one alone, I think it's a little too bright, but mixed together is like where it's at. And then you have a bronzer in here as well. Literally everything you need right here in a one little package. Great quality products as well. None of these look powdery. They look like your skin. It is pricey. It's $80 for this palette, but I have been surprised how much I have been reaching into this. So all right, now we're on to my favorite category, which is eyeshadows. So I'm going to go ahead and start with what I have on top. It is the Huda Beauty. This is from the Wild collection, Wild Obsessions. This is the Jaguar palette. And I will say the look that I created with this eyeshadow palette was one of, I would say probably one of my top 5 looks of the whole entire year. I absolutely love this palette. I think it is such good quality. I love these shades. It is like everyday neutral type of shades, right? But like with a twist. There's something special about these shades, and I just love it so much. I think this is only like $29 or $27, so it's not it's not a bad price point either. All right, next up we have the MAC. This is a, I don't know if this one's still available either. This is kind of like a limited edition collection, but this is the Feast Your Eyes eyeshadow palette, and oh my god, this color story, it does everything for me. Like, it is perfection is what this palette is. Love it so much. If you can still get your hands on this, then I would. Such good quality. Next up, this is gonna blind you guys probably, but this is from Patrick Ta. This is the Major Dimension eyeshadow palette, and this is what the inside looks like here. You have got 2 cream shadows, and then you have got all of these like just warm tone neutrals. There are so many different textures in here. There are toppers, there are glittery shimmery shades, there are delicious buttery mattes. Like, this is set, like, while the color story seems very basic, this is one of the best eyeshadow palettes. And like how it says Major Dimension, you can seriously get some depth and like just interesting looking looks with this palette because of the different textures that are in here. Whew, that was a mouthful. Next up is from Sigma Beauty, and this is the Cinderella eyeshadow palette. How dreamy is this packaging? I love Sigma as a brand. They make some of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. I think their eyeshadow formula is so good. And look at this color story. It is just dreamy. I cannot wait to do more looks with this. It's so cutesy as well, but again, the quality is there, and it's lovely. Normally I don't keep these little protectors, but I just thought this one, I had to keep it, right? I think everything about this palette is just so special. Again, these colors, there are some colors in this palette, but I think this is still like a very everyday type of palette. When I look into this, it's easy for me to create looks in my head with this color story. I think everything goes together very well, and yeah, I love it. You guys knew we were going to have some Natasha Denona in here at some point or another. So this is the Retro palette. This came out 2021 as well, and look at this color story. You guys, if you watch my channel, you know that I love those like mauve shades. If you are into mauves or like even like these like peachy tones, you will be so into this palette. I love these like taupey shades as well. This is just, again, Natasha Denona puts together color stories that just go together so beautifully. And again, while these are like neutrals, like everyday type of shades, there is something that is so special about these shades. Like, they are so freaking creamy. I'm just gonna give you guys 3 swatches, and I mean, they are just so sparkly and just beautiful. But yeah, I just really tend to love Natasha Denona's palettes in general because the color stories are so well put together. The colors just go together without you having to think about it. And the shades are so easy to use. They're so blendable. They're pigmented. Like, you don't have to continuously build them up, but they still do blend out, and you can get them to look just like seamless so easily. So that is why I love this palette. Next up, I want to talk about Lunar Beauty, and this is the Moonspell Volume 2 palette. I love the aesthetics of this palette first and foremost. I think if you're into astrology, if you're into books, if you're into witches, any of that stuff, I think you would love the aesthetics of this. I mean, when you have it, you know, sitting up, it just looks, it looks like a classy book on your shelf. So clearly I love the aesthetics and the design of this palette. But then you open it up, and I have said so many times that purples and like reds and oranges go together so nicely, and that is exactly what this palette is. It is like purples and reds, and you've got some pinky tones in there as well. This is just such a lovely and unique color story, and just very unique shades. I love it so, so much. This Luna shade is absolutely insane. So good. This is another one that I had to mention. This is from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. This is the Pricked palette. And while this is not very practical to use, this was one of my favorite color stories that came out. Jeffree Star's formula is bomb, specifically like his diamond type shades, like this Fashion Whore, Pulp Addiction, Unblunted, Glimmer of Hope. All of those shades are just so shimmery and impactful on the lid. And then when he does these mattes with glitters in them, these glitters actually show up. So you know how like most mattes, like ColourPop for instance, they will have mattes with glitter in them and the glitter just falls right out. These do not with Jeffree Star. They pop, and I love this palette. It's definitely unique in my collection. It is bulky and it's, you know, kind of a pain to store, but I think all of his palettes to me are just so special in how unique they are and the color stories and the way that the shadows perform. So yeah, I do love this palette. All of this other stuff was in no particular order as far as like how much I loved it or did not love it, you know, whatever. I love everything in this video, but anyway, none of the other stuff has been ranked. These two are my favorite from the whole entire year that came out. And I'm going to save the one that I love the best for last. All right, so my second favorite for this whole year was the Huda Beauty. This is the Rose Quartz palette. Now, this is newer to my collection, but it is a favorite already. Like, this color story, oh my god. It is so interesting, and again, even though it is those, you know, everyday type of shades, there is something so special about each one of these. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys like a super close-up. Like, do you see how just unique and special these are? Like, look at this shade right here. Are you freaking kidding me? And this one, oh my god. Anyway, her shadows perform amazing as well. Any of these palettes that I'm showing, I have videos up on my channel using all of these. This one is just one that immediately stuck out to me and became one of my favorite, not only of this year, but just in my collection in general. All right, guys, we are finally down to number one, my favorite palette this year. Again, this is one that I got like later in the year, but right time I used it, I was like, yes, this is perfection. It is the Melt palette. This is so freaking good. I was really actually kind of nervous to use it because I love Melt eyeshadows, but sometimes they can be a little bit tricky to blend out and things like that. There were zero issues with this palette. Look at the design of it as well. Just so freaking beautiful. Love all of the little butterflies. And if I didn't mention, this is the Amar y Mariposas. God, I know I'm probably butchering that, but here is the palette name here. But yeah, this palette is just beautiful inside and out. These shades are everything. They are so unique. They are so impactful. Again, they were easy to use, but pigmented right from the get-go. I love it. The look that I created with this palette was my favorite look of the whole entire year. And yeah, I can't say enough good things about this. This is, I think, limited edition as well. So if I were you, I wouldn't walk, I would run and get this one. It is pricey. I think it was like $75 if I'm thinking correctly, but it's so worth it. It is so special in my collection. And again, it's one of those things that just kind of shot like right up into the top favorites in my whole entire collection. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Did you guys pick any of these things up? What were some of your favorite things from 2021? I would love to know. I hope that you guys will subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye, guys.